Authenticity is hard in the same way that work is hard. You really have to grind for authenticity. And what I mean by that is you grind to be authentic by doing authentic things when nobody is watching. You need to live authentically. You live authentically by imagining that you're like somebody that's on the Truman Show and there's always a camera watching you and people are always watching you. Now, nobody's perfect and nobody would really want that to happen to them. And if that was really something that was true, that camera would record embarrassing moments for all of our lives. And that would be pretty terrible. But if you think about it, that is a good way to think about life, because it causes you to have a little bit more confidence when you go about approaching things. Whereas people can often tell when somebody's not an authentic person because they seem to cower a bit when some type of, question comes along, or they're not answering something honestly. For an authentic person, because they've been consistent whether or not anyone's watching, and they have a bigger reason, some type of personal reason, some type of moral reason for being authentic, and an external motivation in that way, they don't have any problem with answering any question, because they view questions as an earnest audit for themselves, and they can improve from these questions. And they appreciate when somebody points out something negative about them, or something that is a flaw in their character, because it allows them to improve. A person that is not genuine is going to be, or authentic, is going to get angry at someone who asks them challenging questions, as opposed to being happy that they're able to improve from a third-party perspective, because they were never interested in improving to begin with. They were never interested in, such a person is not interested in earnestly improving whether or not anyone is watching them. They are most interested in a different type of motivation that has nothing to do with morals. It could be money or anything else. So why do I say all of this? Well, it's because, when I say that authenticity is work, I mean that it's not easy. It's not easy to, when nobody is watching you or paying attention to you or cares about you, to do the right thing. Because it's hard to do such a thing if you don't believe in some type of higher power. Because if you don't believe that there's some type of higher power, you believe that you would be foolish to not do the right thing. At sometimes. What I'm talking about, one example could be, let's say you found $100 on the floor, and you knew that someone dropped it, but they didn't notice. What should you do, right? If you believe that there's a higher power, then you believe that there's some type of, I don't want to say karma, but there's some type of good good merit to what you do. And if you don't, then there would be almost no moral reason really to give that money back to the stranger. A better example would be if the stranger never even recognized your goodness to begin with. So let's say the stranger had already walked away and you lost them now. Now you would just be an anonymous person returning the money to the police station. Maybe their wallet or something. But an example that would make it more believable would be maybe if it was $10, not $100, because it's almost like when it's a little thing that you think wouldn't matter for anyone, that's when it's really hard to do the right thing. So yeah, part of being authentic is believing that, and this is just me, believing that God is watching you all the time. Just being aware of that. For me personally, because I believe in God, it makes it so, I go throughout my day imagining people watching me, which is kind of weird. But it helps me to kind of act consistently in the way that I should. Now, the reason I say all of this is because hard work pays off. So being authentic is its own form of currency, and it pays off in ways that you never imagine it would. That's the thing about being authentic. You think that having this type of moral character, and I'm not talking about myself here, but let's say if by working on your moral character, you think that it's going to go nowhere, because ultimately, in the short run, you might even be holding yourself back. In the short run, you might even be not benefiting from trying to be honest, trying to be earnest, trying to be authentic. People might not like your authenticity. There are environments and contexts where authenticity is hated. But I'm here trying to tell you today that I think if you just keep going with your authenticity and being true to you, there will be a point, and there must be a point in life where somebody out there or some group of people out there will recognize it and give you credit, and it will benefit you in some way. It just might not be right now. And think about every time that it doesn't benefit you and it actually inhibits you from doing what you want to do as some type of, almost like a credit that will be given to you in the future in some way or another. Because I don't think the world can end unfairly. Now it can, and the world isn't fair. But what I mean by that is I believe that good things come to good people, but sometimes you just need to wait, maybe the people that you're around don't like authenticity. Maybe they don't like the way you live your life. Maybe they don't like your morals, and that's fine. As long as we're not talking about you having morals for the sake of being better than other people and also constantly judging people, then they're fine in not liking you, because being a judgmental person is that's also not actually a good way to behave. But if you're not judgmental and you just do your own thing, and you stick to yourself, and you just do what you want to do, and people still hate you for it, and you're really not doing anything wrong, think of that as a blessing, because that means that you're doing the right thing. That is a sign that you're doing something really, really right. I know it's surprising, and it's hard to keep doing it, but it is a sign. So being authentic will help you someday, even if it doesn't help you in the short term. It hasn't helped me for a long time. I try to be authentic, right? I'm not saying I'm the most authentic person in the world or something. But I try to be authentic, and it's helped me out with YouTube. This is an example, where suddenly it never really helped me out much, and then all of a sudden it helped me out a lot. And this is what I mean when I say that you will find people that want authenticity, and all of a sudden it will be a very good thing. You just need to find your context, your crowd, the place where it works for you. Now, I wanted to show you guys, I want to say one more thing. I bought a Shure SM7B, which is everyone knows it. It's like an industry standard podcast microphone. And the funny thing is, I made many videos with the Shure SM7B, and it didn't get many views. Believe it or not, the equipment didn't do much for me. Like, I'm sure if I ever get popular, although I'm thankful for the channel's popularity already, but if I ever get super popular, I'm sure the SM7B will help in some way or another. But what's interesting is the video that got me the help I needed was, and the attention that everyone wants in a YouTube career, not a career, but I sound cringy saying that, was the one video where I was just so tired of trying. I was so tired of scripting. I was so tired of putting up a show that I was driving home, and in the middle of driving home, I had this thought about this video, and it got put on my mind. And I needed to make this video so much that I took an exit halfway through driving home, and I drove into a gas station parking lot, and this is the equipment that got me many views. A Tim Hortons box. And I still use this Tim Hortons box because no other box in my car is able to put the phone exactly where I need to on the steering wheel. I've bought all this equipment for thousands of dollars, and the one piece of equipment that I needed to get the success I always dreamed of was a box. It was an empty box that cost nothing. And it was my iPhone that, well, kind of cost nothing because I already owned it. And it was my authenticity, which cost nothing. Your authenticity is value in a way. But yeah, I mean, you talk to a camera, like, dude, I was tired of writing scripts. I was tired of trying to do it a certain way, and all I did was say, I give up, man. I just want to be honest and have a straight, like, normal human conversation to a camera, and hope that other people can know what I'm talking about, and hope that other people can feel what I'm feeling right now, because I want to talk with real human emotions right now, and I don't want to talk in a way that's meant to impress people anymore. I'm tired of competing. I'm tired of competing for everyone's attention. I just want to talk. Does anyone want to listen? That's how I felt. You know? And guys, I know that you guys probably have you might, I don't want to make assumptions, but you probably have equipment close to this. Most people have a phone. You know what? Like, try and make it a video. I know I got lucky. I did. I got very lucky. But, you know, talk about something that means a lot to you and see what happens. Maybe nothing will happen. You know, nothing happened to me most of the times. Most of the times I posted a video, nothing happened. But sometimes something does happen, you know, especially when you least expect it. At the end of the day, the Shure SM7B is not what helps me get attention from real people. At the end of the day, my desktop computer that cost $800 was not what got me attention from other people. At the end of the day, my laptop, my MacBook, was not what got me the attention I needed from other people. At the end of the day, what got me attention was not fancy equipment. It was authenticity and connection. Being honest with the world. I didn't want to tell people at times about me losing a job and, you know, feeling like my skills are getting devalued. And I mean, it can kind of make you feel like you're dumb, you know? Like, it can make you feel silly. Like, people sometimes are like, how could you, you know, lose? You just got to do this, bro. It's like, I know what you're saying, but I didn't want that type of judgment, you know? But at the end of the day, people are there for you, and they're going to listen to you, and there's actually goodness in humanity. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And just so you know, this doesn't mean that I'm only going to make low effort record and talk videos from now on. I still want to make video essays as well. So I'll be doing those. And I think I'm going to go in the coffee shop and go upload or go work on one. So thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.